that someone will basically say, I'm guilty of something lesser than what you charged me of. And in that case, we want to be able to reserve the right to say, we understand that the legal ramifications, didn't put you in jail, but we just don't feel safe having you in our program. So we have the ability to do that as well. Bless you. So that's what will happen, but that happens above you. Your job is simply to tell the person in charge, and then we'll take over on the top. Michigan is a good faith state. That means that if you have an honest allegation against someone and you report it in good faith, assuming that you've been told the truth, then you are not liable for that allegation, which means that they can't come back and charge you with spreading slander and rumors about them. Okay, it's a good faith state. A good faith report is protected speech. On the other hand, Michigan does have laws that say if you have knowledge of a crime and you don't report that crime, so willful failure to report, that does open you up to liability. So Michigan state laws are designed in such a way as to encourage you to pass this on to the appropriate authority and to discourage you from keeping it to yourself. Okay? So there's a reasonable suspicion status there. So that covers what abuse looks like. That covers the kind of people who abuse children. That covers what we're doing to prevent abuse from happening in our programs. And that talks about what you do if you have an allegation of abuse. So that just leaves us with the last slide, which is the certification process. We have 3 levels of certification. Those who are under 18 are certified as level 3 workers. I have a pink paper for you. You simply need to fill it out completely. Before you leave here tonight, make sure that I've signed it. So I signed the line that says you were here at the orientation, at the training. So before you leave, make sure I sign that line. And then you can fill that out, and you can mail it back to the church or bring it back to the church next time you come. And it takes just a couple of days to process that through. That's level 3. That basically says you're allowed to help with kids. For adults, 18 and over, we have 2 levels. Level 2 certification, I have a yellow sheet for you. And level 2 certification, again, basically means you can help, okay? You fill it out as best you can. Before you leave this morning, make sure that I have a chance to sign the training line and then bring that back or mail that back. And again, we process that fairly quickly. Level 1 is the highest level of certification. If you're in charge of a program, you need to be a level 1 certification. So for instance, I'm a staff member, so I follow a higher standard, but I'm a soccer coach. I'd have to have a level 1 certification to be the coach because I'm responsible for the whole program, okay? Mrs. Shaw needs a level 1 certification. So level 1 certification, there is the same paperwork as level 2. On top of that, we ask you we don't ask you, we require you for level 1 to go through an interview process with a volunteer in our program, and also we require a criminal background check because you're going to have a lot of access to children, so we want to make sure that you have been thoroughly screened. That's for level 1. Now, Mrs. Shaw, I don't know about you, Terry, but Mrs. Shaw is recertifying. You do not have to go through the interview again. Well, for a recertification at level 1, we want the paperwork renewed in case you've moved or anything's changed. So renew the paperwork, and I will renew the criminal background check just to make sure you haven't done anything shady in the last 3 years. But we don't have to have the interview again because we already know you. You're a known quantity to us. Okay, that's for the recert. Certification lasts 3 years or until you're 18. Okay, so that is the end of our presentation. Thank you again for coming. Thank you for your willingness to minister to children with us and to partner with us. Before you leave, make sure to grab the paperwork. And you don't have to fill it out today, but do make sure that I've signed off the section that says I was at the training. Okay?